32. Let's go 80. Yeah, that's it. I can't show you guys and also do this thing. Oh man. God, it's so good. It's so freaking good, man. What's going on, Max? I want to do some deadlifts today. So warm the hips up, do some front squats, and then I'll get to deadlifts. See what I can do today. I'm not feeling the greatest today. A bit of a sore throat. Kids have been sick all week, so hopefully I don't go down with it. I was in two minds whether to do deadlifts or not, but I've kind of been okay today. Not too bad. Čudi me da nisi uzeo dva u jedan tu mašinu nego dve posebne. The reason I didn't get two of them, the reason I got two of them is because this is an auction. This is not a brand new thing, man. I wish it was all in one, but these machines are up to like $7,000, $8,000 brand new. And they're very hard to find secondhand, basically impossible. So when you see them, you get them. You know, I'm not spending $7,000. Basically, both of these machines were less than $1,000. So, you know, beggars can't be choosers. You know what they say. Yeah, I mean, it was all kind of like unplanned. You know, my missus saw the Facebook ad saying that this gym is closing down, and the auction is, you know, this and this date, and she told me, and I was like, I had no idea they had this available. Like I didn't know what the situation was. And then when the auction went live, I was just like looking through. I made a whole stack of bids, man. Like I made like 20 machine different bids because I knew like the money that I was gonna spend, it wasn't gonna be what's gonna get it, you know. The one I really, really wanted was the Nautilus pullover machine. And my gut feeling was it was gonna go crazy, it was gonna go absolutely hot, and it did. And I made, bets on lots of different things. But, you know, I was betting like $100, you know. I went to the gym to see it, to check all the machinery out. I only had like 30, 40 minutes there. Saw that it was pretty good quality and pretty good nick, and the gym maintained all of this stuff really well. Like the upholstery was redone, so there's no like tears on any of this stuff. Very, very good quality. And so I just kind of left after a little while, and like I'm not going to, you know, try every single machine because I'm not going to be able to get any of it. And the guy there, the manager that was still in the gym, those, you know, obviously no one's working out, empty gym, he was like, yeah, 40 people have registered for the auction. I thought, 40, that's not bad. I was expecting hundreds. But then obviously, you know, that's probably gym owners, other gym owners that have way more money than me, and some of the good pieces went. Like the incline bench, I got it for $100. $100. Nobody wanted this. I was like, hell yeah, I want that. The chest supported row also got a bit hot. I wanted to stop at 500. I wanted to stop at 400. I wanted to stop basically at the lowest possible price. But then when I saw everything else was, you know, being completely taken by everyone, I thought, okay, so I'm not getting a lot of things here. Let me just make sure I get this. I got this and I pushed to 650. I think it was $600 I got this for. And then much, much later down in the auction, like, it was going one by one, you know. these things came up, and because I was basically empty-handed at this point, other than the row, I thought, okay, let's see if these machines are gonna go crazy, and they didn't. Uh, this one, the abductor machine, was pretty hot. I think it stopped at 500, 550 or something like that. But the adductor machine, nobody wanted the adductor machine. Like it was interesting to see what people thought was value, what people thought is a good exercise. And I'm guessing a lot of girls who are interested in hypertrophy of the glutes, they want the abductor, right? Like the glutes. But no girl wants to have big adductors, the thinner thigh. Whereas if you're into training and if you're strength, blah, 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 you're probably interested in that. And so it's like most of the people that are going to be at the auction, most of the people in fitness are usually bodybuilders, you know, people that are into aesthetics. And so who doesn't want bigger glutes, right? It was one of those things. But I ended up getting it. So when I got the abductor machine for I think $600, I was like, oh, like, you know, I'm going to push this one hard. Like I need that one. They go in pairs, right? And so luckily that stopped at 400, 450 or something like that. No, less than that. Something like that. Yeah, so pretty good, man. Pretty good. What's going on? What's going on? How are you planning on running incline bench in with everything? You think of dedicating a block of training for it? So I did it yesterday. And what I did yesterday was I did my usual 3 sets of bench. The 3 sets of 23 with 100 kilos. And then I just went over here and I did 3 sets of 60 kilos on the incline. And that's got me quite sore in the shoulders. It's a lot of shoulders. And weirdly, I'm like showing my serratus anterior as well. Like the rib muscle. I'm sore there as well today. Hence why I'm not going to bench today. So I did 3 sets there. 60 kilos, 1 set of 20, 1 set of 15, 1 set of 12. And that's it. I'll just plug it at the end. I'm not going to treat it as a main movement or anything like that. It's just going to be something that I get a little bit more volume on. Feels good. And, you know, it's one of those things like when everything is already set up and you don't have to mess around with, you know, bench in, bench out, change this, change that. Like I like it when there's like mini stations around the place that I can just get on with, you know. I don't have to change the whole layout of the room every time. And like the incline bench that I have is also, the adjustable thing that I have is also very, you can see it over there, right there. It's very old and it's fallen apart and it's not good, and probably because of that reason I just stopped using it. So, yeah. This feels good. I miss squat every day for the win. Yeah, Nautilus, pullover, got a great reputation, definitely high demand. Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. You know, Dorian Yates, I suppose. To this day, it's carrying that popularity. You know, he really made it famous. But if you've ever tried that machine at a gym, which I have, it is amazing, man. Like it literally stretches everything out, and you feel it reverses all of the bad posture that you're carrying throughout the day. And so it's basically like the adductor machine over there. it's a loaded stretch. And so you've got this huge range of motion that you're using. And so stretch, contract. That is special. There's not many exercises like that around the place that have you completely stretch out like that. The exercises that come to mind straight away are the flies, dumbbell flies. That feels freaking amazing as well. Same thing. Completely stretches you out. The pullovers, the adductors, the RDLs, especially like if you get on a block, that's also like a really, really great stretching, movement. It really kind of really challenges you that in range. Like not many. There's not many exercises like that. So, if you get a machine that can help you with that, especially the pullover machine, because it allows you to get, like, I don't know how many degrees, 200 degrees or something, 240, 250 degrees of range of motion. Like, it's huge. You're basically going from like here, right, which is more than 180 in many circumstances, and you're pulling it all the way down to your hips, and there's tension throughout the whole movement. Whereas if you use a dumbbell, the gravity kind of limits all of that, so you don't get that whole range. That's why the pull-down machine is amazing, because it allows you to do that. You can use cables as well, same thing. It doesn't really get that full stretch. So you need a machine that kind of has that disc, and the cable runs around the disc to kind of make that range of motion really wide. I remember the first time I used it, or the first or second time I used it, I went quite heavy and I pushed and did lots of volume. I've never had tricep soreness like that in my entire life, man. Like literally from elbow to shoulder, my triceps were sore. And I mean, they were more than 7 days sore. The first few days I was like, maybe I've torn something. That's how sore it was. Obviously triceps, they need to be used as well in the motion. You're kind of like, I think is it the long head crosses the shoulder joint as well. So it's used to flex the shoulder, or extend the shoulder rather. So it's amazing for triceps as well. It's Yugoslavia. There you go. Man, it's glorious. It's absolutely glorious. Northern Burbs. Which country do you think I'm from? That's interesting. That sounds like the UK. Preston. Yeah, man, that's the new stuff right there. New stuff. No, dude, I'm in Adelaide, man. Can I show you this? So I've got what I'm on right now. It's doing a bad job. The bag girl. I don't know if you can see that. I got that thing there. Can you even see it? Yep. I got that thing there. Right? And then I got the adductor machine over there as well, right? So I got all of that. Pretty good mix. Can't complain, man, no? I could just have a session of just doing this. Am I still playing basketball? Nah, man. Not seriously anyway, dude. Nothing meaningful. Just shooting around here and there with the kids, but nothing good. Those days are long gone, man. Don't have time for that. Nor do I want to play basketball anymore. I think high rates of injury. Yeah, I love watching it though. That's all. Do I log all your workouts? Absolutely, man. Yeah, man. I've got 1.5 full books written in the last 10 years. Everything's been logged, not just the training sessions, the sets of reps and exercises, but also sometimes I write my thoughts down. So, yeah, man, it's all recorded. All this stuff is recorded. Gotta record it, man. It's how you measure and how you learn. The short runs, yep. I've been doing them. I've done maybe 3 in the last 2 weeks. In the last, 2 weeks, I suppose by now. Yeah, I'm doing them, and I'll continue to do them when I can. Right now, I've got this sore throat thing going on, so I don't want to breathe heavy. I was in 2 minds about the deadlift today. I'll give it a shot. Mainly because I want to use the row machine. I want to suss that out, so I'll see how it goes. Yeah. All right, so I think I've done 5. I'll do 2 more. Oh, God, that is so good. I'm not doing the short runs. I'm not doing the short runs for conditioning or anything like that. The running is an evolution of the thought of the side hip work, the unilateral work. So, doing what I'm doing right now is kind of similar muscles that you use when you run. Anything where you're loading one foot at a time or one hip at a time is essentially a similar type of exercise. So running hits the TFL real good, and it hits the glute medius pretty good as well, because you're running on one foot, one leg. So I need that. I need it in my training. I need it for balance, because everything I do is glute max. And so I've noticed that when I do abduction work, or when I do abduction work like running, you're kind of forcing so the pelvis stays the same. It doesn't droop. When you run, you want to run like this. You don't want to completely let the hip go. Like, you have to pick the leg up and transfer it. So the opposite side, the swing leg, the opposite hip to the swing leg is working laterally on the hip. And all of that kind of makes me feel good when I squat. It balances all out. So that's why I'm running. It's not because, I want to lose weight or I want to get fitter. None of that. Yeah. Alrighty. One more set here, and then we'll do front squats, and then we'll start piling on the deadlifts, I reckon. Yeah, man. Good times ahead, huh? That is amazing. God, it makes you feel bloody awesome. All right, boys, let me take you on a journey. Alrighty. Let me plonk yous here. And now I've got to get this barbell across. This is kind of a pain in the ass, actually. Why don't I change the way I do things here? And I'll leave this here. And I'll just get this out. A lot bloody easier, isn't it? Now that I have a different setup, I can use this barbell. Now, is that microphone going to be in the way, I wonder? All right. Nice setup, thank you, man. Ben Johnson's training principles, he's got 300 dead, 200 squat. I don't know who Ben Johnson is, actually. What is the most underwhelming popular dish? Oh, I don't really know. I'm not a big critic. Yeah, Hutchin. Yeah, the lateral hip is kind of like the lateral like shoulder work. It just does something for you. I don't know. I don't think we have a lot of movement in that plane of motion, and so a lot of that stuff kind of can not atrophy, but like lag behind from the main movers, and I think with that imbalance comes all sorts of issues with strains and pains and all sorts. I think having like balance across the joint is very, very important. That's something you learn if you lift for a little while, you learn that you sort of need to always look into balancing whatever joint. You can't just hammer one movement. Even the squat is not good enough. You know, when you first start out, everyone says, oh, you know, compound movements hit most muscles. Yeah, they do, but they don't hit all of them equally, and that's where the trouble arises. So you can do squats until the cows come home. If you don't do something equally heavy and intense for the hamstrings, the lateral hip, you're going to get into trouble. Obviously, it depends how you squat as well. But, all right, let me do 100 here for one. Nothing crazy, just to say hello to the squat pattern. And then we'll load the deadlift. Beautiful, mate. Bloody beautiful. Nothing wrong with that. The squat rack is dancing around because there's 6 points of contact with the ground, and some of those points are in the air. Thanks to the uneven concrete. It's always fun to have concrete issues. Oh wow, nice. Sounds like a monster, man. I neglected balance but learned it the hard way with injuries. Hey, me too, man. Fully agree on maintaining relative strength in different planes is important. Yeah, man. Yeah, but this is the thing, like, you know, a lot of these types of ideas and thoughts, they don't naturally come to us, you know. You just think, oh, you know, at least that was me. If I just continue to do one lift over and over again, I'll just get really good at that lift. You know, it's like, you know, using the basketball analogy from earlier in my sporting career. It was like, you want to get rid of free throws? Freaking just do free throws until the cows come home. Eventually you'll learn, you know, perfect that technique and feel and whatnot. With weightlifting, unfortunately, it's not that way, man. Like, you got to do all this other shit just to make sure, like, everything's balanced. And it's not attractive to me, at least, but variation is the key, man. You got to vary your stuff. And not just variation for the sake of variation. Variation, like, with some sort of thought, some sort of plan, some sort of, you know, directive, you know, like, you need to know why you're doing stuff. And I always look for rationale in my thoughts. If I don't have a rationale for this choice of exercise, like, what am I doing? Like, I'm not doing it just because that bloke over there said that. Obviously, you learn from all sorts of stuff, but like, when you learn stuff, okay, I do this for this, and I'm using it in this part of my phase of training because I need this. It's kind of like that. It's not just a physical endeavor, this lifting thing, man. It's a lot of thought as well. A lot of anatomy and physiology and learning what everything kind of means to the neighboring tissue and all that stuff. All right. All right, that's 120. 120. Let's go 140. I'll just chuck this here. I'll probably go one. Actually, no, I'm not going to assume that. I'm not going to assume I'll do anything. Put it back. Pressure myself into things. All right. Actually, let me see how this looks. Put it like this. See, that looks better, doesn't it? Look at that. Look at that. How nice does that look? The barbell with the plates out. So now both sides, the plates are showing. That's sick. Um, Calcium exercise training is associated with increased prevalence of varicose veins to the balls, lowering testosterone. My friend, that is the first time I've heard of that. Oh man, I don't know if you're serious or not, or whether that's a serious remark, but I've never heard that before in my life. But yes, if you have varicose veins on your testicles, you might not be able to reproduce because not only your testosterone goes down, but your sperm count goes next to zero if you have varicose veins on your testicles. So maybe you said that as a joke. I don't really know. I don't know if there was a previous comment that led you to that, but it is very much a serious thing. In fact, I know somebody, a colleague of mine, who's dealing with that, and they're trying for a baby and all sorts. So, yeah. Serious thing, man. Considering that a lot of strongmen are really good deadlifters, how much do you think the heavy sandbag carries, etc., carry over to the deadlifts? Oh, Doug, I think all that stuff hits the mid back like crazy. Obviously, sandbags, I've got limited experience with it, but like a lot of that stuff is also challenging other parts of the body. The grip, the positioning, it's all very awkward. So it engages upper back like crazy as well. Mid back, upper back. But in terms of like overall load, like loading the movement pattern where the sandbags are really close to you and your knees are kind of not an issue. With the deadlift bar, like the bar is being blocked by your knees, so it's much more difficult. But all of that stuff like has an impact, and I think all of that is valuable to train. Is it better than actual just doing volume on deadlifts? I'm not sure. Maybe to change it up once in a while. Calcium, you're serious? Oh, there you go. Yeah. Man's not watching any fitness YouTube, so you don't shop and change. Though, as it's much philosophy as lifting. What did I miss? Anthony, what's happening, man? Research it like crazy when I realize I have it. Oh, you've got it. Calcium, if you've got it, man, I'm sure if you've been tested and whatever, but I'm not even sure how old you are, whether you're in the stage of starting a family or not, but maybe right now the testosterone is an issue. But later on down the track, your sperm count is going to be a big issue. Like when you get into your maybe late 20s, I don't know when people have kids nowadays. I mean, I was a dad at 27. But yeah, like it's a very, very big thing, man. Not being able to have a child is a big thing. And you think to yourself, it's not just the low sperm count, it's also how fit your sperm are. So can they actually swim? So in a lot of people's situation, the sperm count is so low that you can't even measure it. It's hard to extract them. And a lot of people go infertile with this. So you got to address it as soon as possible, man. Don't let it linger. And so you do IVF. There's like another technique. It's not just IVF where you take the sperm and you put it in. Like a sperm that is not fit that you put in is still not going to be good. Like there's other ways. Like my understanding of IVF is there's an egg and you just send like a whole bunch of sperm and the fittest one goes in, right? And there's another technique where you take one sperm and you literally inject it into one egg. I forget the term for that, but there's also that. But this colleague of mine, they're having trouble with that as well, because the very few sperm that he has are very, very poor. Motility, or whatever the term is. I'm not a fertility specialist by any stretch of the imagination, but varicose veins can really screw you over, man. Depends on what stage of life and what impact you're most worried about. Maybe if you're a youngster, you're worried about your testosterone now because of lifting and whatever, but down the track, screw the lifting, man. Starting a family, that's the biggest problem. Fuck you, man. J-cups are shit. Sick of these J-cups, man. All right. Let's get 160 on the front squat. As soon as you can start charging membership for your gym. Yeah, soon, very soon, man. The docs just tell me to pay for IVF if I want children instead of fixing it. Yeah, but I'm probably not infertile yet, at least. Yeah, just look into it, dude. I don't know. A lot of these things, they need to be self-driven. Like the doctors, and even if you find a crappy doctor, man, like people who just lost their soul at some point in their career, they just don't give a shit anymore. They're just there for the money. But yeah, like get it looked at. You know, like you can freeze sperm. I guess you can freeze eggs. You can freeze all that stuff. I don't know how old you are, whether like you're in that period where you have a partner or whatever. But yeah, just think ahead. All that stuff, think ahead. Like I work with obviously a lot of women in nursing. And so there's a lot of fertility issues, man. Like people are having kids now later and later, and it just fits into the bigger picture of how society is at the moment. Like everyone is prioritizing career and money, and you know they've got all these aspirations to do wonderful big things, but the key purpose, you know, is kind of being left behind. And so now we're having kids in our late 30s. The eggs are poor, the sperm is poor, the fitness is poor, everything's poor. More and more children are being born like with learning difficulties and all this sort of stuff. And a lot goes into that, obviously. It's not just the fact that we're having kids later, which is a big impact. Like all of your risk factors go through the roof when you're having children, you know, later and later. But there's a lot of stuff around, you know, we're more aware of it now, we're doing more testing. But yeah, I don't know, there's a lot to cover there. Obviously, if you're 21, society frowns upon you to have a child because you're too young, you don't have a career. But biologically speaking, you are in your peak. Like you can't be fitter than that. Like you are fully formed as a female probably. You're not a child anymore. It's mentally you're pretty good. So there's a lot of things to balance there, and it's tricky. Like you know, I remember when I was going through that period, and you know, Soph and I were together for a while. Like we got serious at 23. So we got together at 23, although we knew each other earlier. We went out earlier, then we had a fight, or blah blah blah, all the immaturity stuff. But at 23, we sort of, you know, got back together, and by 25, the conversation was starting to be had. You know, and I had some family around me, friends who were starting their family. And so like two of my best friends, one's 4 years older, one's 2 years older, right? And so they're just slightly ahead in life. And they started having children, and I was like, okay, cool. Time for me to think about that as well. And at the same time, my brother, he was also trying with his missus, and they were having trouble. So I was like, holy shit, like wherever I turn, people are having difficulties with freaking this stuff. It's interesting, right? Because when you're a kid growing up, everyone's like, you know, don't get the girl pregnant, like, you know, one night stands, all this stuff. Like you have to be really aware of what you're doing, wear protection, blah, 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 blah. And here we are on the other end of that freaking whole conversation, and we're trying to have kids and we can't. It's just weird, man. Weird. All right, 160. 160 on the bar now. Let me see what I can do here. Not bad, more in the tank for sure, but let's leave it there. I'll start the deadlift now. Start the main deal for today. I'll put you guys over here so you see what's up. Alrighty. Where am I going to set this thing up now, huh? Can you guys see me here? All right. So what I've got to do now is get the plates down. I like to use all bumpers. Where am I going to put this crap? Let's put it over here. So we'll go for 220 today. I'm always mindful of the kids, so the weights don't drop on them. Don't want to come out and copy dad at every opportunity. Oh man. I'm good, Yvonne. Anthony, busy how to replicate the adductor and abductor machines. Man, I've done a lot of thinking about that. You know, I realized the awesomeness of these two machines. One of the driving factors for me to go back to gym each time. I have long stints away from the gym, but you know, one of the driving factors is always to try certain equipment. Obviously, gyms have a lot available. So, you know, once I go to the gym and I found out, oh shit, okay, these are amazing. How do I go back and how do I replicate that stuff? And it's very hard, dude. Like, you can do certain things, but it's not at the same level. You're always gonna, you know, get less, and just you have to work harder for what you do get from some of these exercises. And I've done many videos about lateral leg raises, fire hydrants, lying leg raises to the side, lunges. I've done lots of different, you know, thoughts and experiments over the years about all of this stuff. But now that I've got these machines, you see the impact that a machine does. Like, and it's also very accessible. You just sit on it and you get going. A lot of times I always say to people, man, like, you want to make your workout space, whatever you got going on, you want the least amount of willpower required to do a set. And if I have to move all my furniture around to set something up, to do something, then it eats away at you. Sure, when you're really motivated, you'll do it. But like, a lot of times you skip these things because you can't be screwed. Not every day you come in here and you feel freaking fantastic about life and you want to attack. It's not like that. There's a lot of days where you come in here pissed off. But now when you have a machine, jump on. Actually, I have another machine that I found on the side of the road, which is kind of like you stand on top of it like that and you slide your legs on two rails, like you're standing on it. It's called like a Swing 2000 or something like that. Like one of those Danos Direct freaking, midday TV shopping channel crap. And I saw it at the end of the driveway. Somebody threw it out and I picked it up. Got it at home and it was kind of alright, but it's still kind of shitty. Yeah, so if you've got an unlimited budget, I think those two machines are amazing. Absolutely amazing. And you could probably get away with just getting one that does both, But I haven't seen that. Alrighty, let me do this overhand. Let's see if I can grab this. Yeah, that worked. So that's 200 now. 200. And we'll get to 220 and we'll start repping. Yeah, go for it. Jake, I would highly recommend, don't take my word for it, but I would highly recommend if you go to the gym, just give them a try. Test them out like in your cool down of your training sessions, maybe in your warm up some days. Throw them in and see how you feel. It's very hard to convince anyone of anything really when it comes to this. We all kind of come from our own ideas. But I'd really tell people, just give it a shot, like give it a try to see how it feels. Maybe you're the type that you have good connection with those muscles and you have good balance. Maybe you still play sport. Maybe you still run around and you do athletic things. And if you're that sort that is still kind of athletic in your training, you still might be all right. But for some of us that are not playing basketball, soccer, football, all that, maybe we benefit from that. I certainly feel like I have better engagement, better wedging in the deadlift, better squatting, more legs, better hip internal rotation, better external rotation of the hip as well. So just like more range of motion and more control at the end ranges. And when it comes to lifting, at the end of the day, if you think about physics, this is just a physics problem. Lifting is a physics problem. And sure, you can add more hydraulic power, i.e. get more muscle, get stronger in some of these tissues, or you can simply just improve your leverage for the problem, right? It's very easy, physics and maths, to kind of think about it that way. If you reduce the lever of a given problem, the forces involved change. The requirements change. So mobility has a big part in that. If you can't access certain ranges of motion, whether your ankles are short or whether your glutes are unable to externally rotate enough because of other restrictions, maybe your glute medius is completely weak and it just taps out at 50% of your run rate max. Your glute medius and other hip external abductors, they just can't abduct, and so then you have this knee cave. What does that do? Well, it changes everything for you, man. Like it changes the striking or the force that your quads and your glutes can now elicit. It's not in a striking range. You start to lose power because, just like in a car, you lose traction of the tires. And so you can accelerate more, for sure, dude. You can go and do that, but are you going to get anywhere? Likely not. Like always, I'm going to give this 200 try with double overhand. I doubt I'll be able to get it, but I want to try. It will kind of also wake me up a little bit. No way. Bar just rolls too easily, this one. Alrighty. Alrighty. How am I getting closer and closer to the wall over here? How is that working out? Now, where did I put my clips? Oh, shit. Where are they? Here they are. Now, the good thing about this is, with limited space like this, if I was to set up something for the abduction or adduction, there's prep work. Now I can just jump on that machine and just activate my glutes. Just like that. And I might as well do that now. Jump onto a quick set of abductions. Get the glutes working how I'd like. Wakey, wakey. Glutes. All right. Beautiful, mate. I love that. Turn the glutes on. I could superset this shit now. So freaking good. And then we'll do the first set of 200 or 220 rather. Deadlifts and loud slip knots. Yeah, man. It's very hard to do deadlifts. Let's say you're angry before, and then you do deadlifts. If it's very hard to maintain anger after going max on deadlifts. That's one thing, man. It just releases everything that you have ill towards the world. It just goes into, just disappears. Maybe I should go this side. Makes sense, Ivan. Good thinking, 99. Like this. Should be louder. One of my favorite things to do in training is, let's say you're doing deadlifts, right? What I like to do, and this is, now you guys get to see because of these lives, but a lot of these things don't make the video, right? Because I can't be screwed recording every freaking thing that I do. But one of the things that I like to do is, okay, deadlifts. What would happen if I did bicep curls in between deadlift sets? Does that change anything? Probably not. Okay, let's give it a try. Let's do a few sets. or bicep curls in between the deadlift sets. Means nothing, no connection at all. What if I do some lateral hip stuff like hip abduction? How does the deadlift now feel? Oh, this is interesting. What do I feel about this? Is it better or worse? Okay, let's try the opposite. Let's do adductors for the next set and see how that feels. Yeah, okay. And so over the course of days, weeks, years, you start to kind of poke around in the dark and you go, yeah, there's something about hip abduction helping me in the deadlift. Or let's say you're really getting screwed over at the top of the deadlift. You need more glutes. Well, how do I prime the glutes before the set? Can I just get it more active? Can I activate the glutes? You know, it's worth a thought. And I often experiment these ideas when I'm training. Like I said, it doesn't make the videos because a lot of my short videos, whatever, 5-10 minutes, they don't go straight to the point. And I discuss whatever the hell I want to discuss. And a lot of times it's not what's happening in my training sessions every day. All right. Dead stop deadlifts. I have to keep reminding myself that this is what I'm doing. This will be heavy. Let's see if I can get 3 sets here. Will be bloody good, eh? Yeah, that shit's heavy. And I'm feeling my glutes like crazy. Feeling the glutes the entire time. Yeah, the fat plates are 25. The red and the black. Must admit, that felt pretty good with the glutes on board. That's 220, man, yeah. $220. Hopefully more than 3 sets. Well, let's see. That felt kind of heavy. But really the main event for today, of course, is the deadlift, but I'm really intrigued to try that row machine. I'm so excited about that. I've never really done that. Volume deads and then rows. Never happens. It's usually one or the other. Because obviously when you do volume deadlifts, your back is fried, like lower back. You can't maintain the position. But if you've got a machine that can remove the lower back out of it, like chest supported movement, now you can swing your freaking arms until the cows come home and really overload. Whew. It's good shit. Why are Serbians good at basketball? I heard it somewhere. Well, how do I answer that? There's so many different thoughts. Serbians are not just good at basketball. They are good at soccer, water polo, obviously tennis now, you know. Djokovic is probably the GOAT, my opinion, definitely. You need to look at the country as a whole. The country's had a lot of trouble over the last 3 decades, 4 decades. Lots of turmoil. And whenever you have turmoil in a country, you have children growing up. And there's less and less hope. Less and less hope. And when there's not a lot of opportunity, that red ball or white ball, basketball or soccer, offers opportunity. And so one of the reasons why you have great sportsmen coming from a tiny country like that is because the kids most often, at least when I grew up over there, we're all on the street. We're all playing ball sports, like non-stop. There's no gaming, and like it was a different world. You know, maybe now it's different now, but like not every kid has a PlayStation, and so you go out and you play whatever. You play volleyball, you play basketball, you play soccer. When you get bored, then you go play, you know, handball or whatever. You just keep playing. And so in the case of like Nikola Jokic, like he played water polo. A lot of people don't know that. That's why he's really good overhead. He's got that feel for the ball. He's good in water, right? Does that carry over to basketball? Well, basketball is an overhead sport as well. So he's always active. He's always high dexterity, lots of practice. Yeah, we don't have athletes like the USA who prioritize strength and conditioning. We just play. We play the sport. There's not a lot of training sessions for, you know, fitness and strength, all that stuff. You just play the sport. And so the type of person that comes out of a country like that, without any gymnasiums and weightlifting rooms and all that stuff, there's a ball. Pick up the ball and you play. You don't need a lot of resources to just have a ball, you know. And you play all the time. Mostly it's 3-on-3 type of thing, unless you've got lots of kids and you can start playing full court. But that's how I grew up. You know, you play soccer, basketball, and you just kind of get good. And so some of these passes that, you know, Jokic throws, he's not forcing that. That's just a natural thing, you know. And you can't really teach that in a gym or a classroom. You teach that through millions of reps as a kid, playing soccer, playing basketball, seeing the through ball in soccer, seeing the water polo, you know, like seeing plays, seeing 100 different situations on the court all the time. You just kind of develop that intuition of how a player moves on the court, on the field, or whatever. And that's how it is, man. All right, let me get another one here. Really, really liking this, as you guys can see. Awesome. Oh, this is good, man. Having engaged hips for the deadlift feels good. Tall people as well. Yeah, Doug, for sure. Very tall people, that part of the world. Good morning from Texas, brother. Good morning, man. How are you? Let's see a close-up of the new gym equipment. I showed it a little bit earlier. I might do it a little later. Let me just hit these sets first. And then maybe we can have a bit of a tour and a close-up. Am I purposefully letting breath out on the eccentric? Yeah. It's just natural for me. I can't hold the breath until the top. I feel like I'm going to blow up. Yep. Oh man. Hips are feeling nice, I must say. All this attention. And once again, I'll finish the night off with the adductor machine. I feel like that's just a really good flow to have. Outer hip as a warm-up, inner hip, inner thighs as a cool down. Alrighty. Let's get this second set. Alrighty. That's 2 good sets. Oh my God, the glutes are lit. Oh, goodness. Calcium says I did 3 by 10 on the deadlifts with a heavy weight once and I felt messed up and dizzy for 30 minutes. Afterward, I couldn't think, how could one know if they get like a stroke or something? Yeah, well, I mean, a stroke is a very serious thing and there's very specific symptoms. If you're getting dizzy like that, and you're just dizzy, even for 30 minutes after, my best bet would be that you've just vagaled yourself. If you've never heard that term before, it's called vasovagal. All that means is that you've stimulated your vagus nerve, which is a humongous parasympathetic nerve. It goes from the brain and just innervates freaking everything, your heart, bowel. And so if you're bracing incorrectly, and maybe with the belt on top, and you're creating too much intra-abdominal pressure, you can induce a vagal response. What that entails is essentially the vagus nerve controls, when it gets stimulated, it controls the brake for the body. So sleep, digestion, slowing the heart rate, lowering our blood pressure, just relaxation. So you might have done that. Stroke symptoms, it's different. You know, usually there's a Rosier score, a Rosier, R-O-S-I-E-R, Rosier score. You can Google that right now, a Rosier score. And we use that as a tool to assess somebody for stroke symptoms. So things like, you know, vision loss, unilateral vision loss, bilateral vision loss, confusion, limb weakness, one-sided, things of that nature, facial droop, slurred speech, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, there's a whole thing for it. If you just have dizziness and nothing else, you wouldn't score anything on the Rosier. My understanding is dizziness is not one of them. But if you get a +1, a +2, +3, +4, you become more and more likely to have a stroke. In a young, fit male without any comorbidities, very, very unlikely to have a stroke. Now, you can also have a bleed, intracranial bleed, and that's another thought. If you're doing heavy weights, you could potentially have an intracranial bleed if you're, once again, bracing incorrectly, and maybe you have an aneurysm in your head somewhere. You can pop that aneurysm, and then you have all sorts of stuff. But as Wade Nalla said, if you're really concerned, and this is happening all the time, absolutely talk to a doctor. You know. Yeah, that's it. My face and eyes always get bloodshot red when I lift heavy. Yeah, I don't know. Of course, speak to the doctor. Get it checked out. I'm not thinking about anything ill for you. I'm just thinking about some of the things you control in the gym. Maybe you're bracing incorrectly. That's my first thought. Doug says, have you tried Shilat, Ivan? It gives you stable, good energy. No, I haven't. I haven't tried that, man. Here, let me get the glutes again. Oof, man, they're on the map for sure today. This bloody machine, man, I tell you what. Whoop. Oh. That is glorious, glorious machine, man. Why is this bar just rolling? Get your ass back. Of course you're gonna roll downhill. Oh. I have started blood pressure medication. It is high for like no reason. Oh, okay. So there's something at play there. Blood pressure going crazy. Yeah, get that investigated to bits, man. Maybe it's your kidneys. Who knows? Get that sorted out. How old are you, by the way, man? Like, blood pressure medications young it's very odd. 24. And are you of kind of like normal BMI, normal weight? You're not obese or anything like that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Hold on. So you're saying you are obese? My mother has like 200, 100 at rest, so I think it might be genetic. Holy shit, dude. More important than any lifting, brother, you need to be safe. Health, man, and mind. Oh, healthy, you're saying, not obese. Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you. Give a shout out to a guy I recently discovered on YouTube and Twitter, Hans Amato. Hans Amato. Okay, never heard of it. Never heard of the fellow. But yeah, man, definitely blood pressure of 200 or 100, man. Like your increased risk of stroke, heart attack, kidney disease, like all that stuff goes through the roof, man. So just make sure you take care of yourself, man. All right, set number 3. Set number 3. All right, let's make this a good one, eh? Number 3. Oh man. Hopefully that's five reps. What do you reckon, boys? Is that 5? I lost count. I think it was 5. Hey Patrick, what's up, man? Here's your good information on training and nutrition and how to boost natural way, how to reduce inflammation. Interesting. Very cool. Intermittent fasting, every meal a day. Extended fast or reduced fast. Yeah, I love fasting. I'm a fan. Decky says, hey Ivan, stoked that I finally caught this live. Just finished up a double session of Muay Thai and weights. So keen to wind down and watch. Thanks for everything you do, man. Last few videos were gems. Appreciate that, Decky, man. It's always a pleasure to hear positive feedback like that. Weights and Muay Thai, man, that's a lot of work. A lot of work. Good to hear. All right, one more set, there'll be 4. And I'll be happy with that. 4 sets of 5. The next session I'll try and get 5, and so on and so on. So good, but only once in a while. Screw up your thyroid if you do it every day or just weekly. Interesting, Doug. I've never heard that before, that it screws up your thyroid. I'm not sure what the method there is, why it happens, and how prevalent that is. I'm not sure. I always thought fasting just benefits everything. Just came here to say the N-word, but this is the base channel. Oh. Oh man. Am I Serbian? Yes, man, I am. Know the exact mechanisms, but it's pretty common among menopausal women who do OMAD 1 meal a day, then pack on fat even though they eat like 1,000 calories. The thing with fasting, what people don't understand is that it actually reduces your metabolic rate. So fasting and just sitting down on the couch doing jack shit is not going to help you. The key to fasting is actually being active and maintaining your muscle mass. So you need to be active. You need to live a normal life or an active life. Because what fasting will do eventually is that it will pick up that your new daily calorie intake is like 1,000 or 1,500, whatever it is. And it will just start to reduce, make you lethargic, make you lousy, lazy, and you end up doing less work. So like really you've achieved nothing other than the macrophaging, the T cells and the cancer eating state, after the 16-hour fast when glucagon enters the bloodstream. But so you need to be active. You need to be maintaining your lean muscle mass. And so people that fast all the time and they still look skinny fat is because they've just reduced their metabolic rate. The key is to be metabolically active, high. That's the key to all of this. People try to find the lazy way out. Oh, I'll just stop eating and I'll just sit around and do nothing and watch these abs come in. There's no abs. You will just look skinny fat. No matter how you cut it, man, you're going to have to freaking move. If you want to look like an athlete, you better freaking do what athletes do. So while fasting is great for health in general, you're not going to look amazing. You're just going to look like a skeleton with some skin hanging off it. Stop eating, sit around, use speed. That's right. Yeah, drugs, man. Thank you. Ivan, you're looking good. Thank you, man. Bulgarian bag workout with you on the telly. Nice, man. Hello from Malaysia. Hello. IRS, man. This is 220 on the bar. Sets of 5. Moderate if you overdo it. We don't know if this happens to everybody, but for sure it impacts menopausal women. Interesting. Yeah, menopause is a whack thing as well, man. Like, menopause is huge change to their body, man. Like, the whole system goes upside down. It's not nice for them, for sure. So, yeah, maybe some of that endocrinology gets all screwed up and messed up and the thyroid suffers. Somehow, I don't really understand the mechanism of that, but I'm sure there are people out there that do. All right. Let's fire this up for the last time. And then the last set. and then start rowing. So freaking pumped for that. New machines. Wow. Every single time I do it, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Holy shit. Exactly what my body needs. These bloody lateral glutes are tiny and asleep. If you have reason to do it, spiritual reasons being the most honest, as fasting for fat loss, my temporary results, it will ultimately lead to regaining, as the core issue was not treated as to why the person has excess weight. High LH and FSH. What is LH and FSH? Sex hormone, female sex hormone, and what's LH? Female sex hormone, and what's the other one? I think, from what I know, luteinizing hormone. Ooh, I don't know what that is. Marty, what's up, man? What's going on, player? Both stimulate the ovaries, which get old and die. I went to school with an Albanian in middle school. His name was Gent. He was a savage. Yeah, the session's good, man. I am in the midst of doing 4 sets of 5, and this is the last set. And then we do rows. Row, row, row your boat. Really keen to do that row. But I have to get through this first. Let me catch my breath, and then we'll attack. The third set kind of felt tough. My lats started giving out, and I started shooting my butt into the sky, which tells me I need rowing. Deadlifts are very lat dominant. The lats are key to this shit. As freaking everything is when it comes to the deadlifts, when you think about it. Fucking the core's important, the quads are important. Upper back, traps, lats, grip. Jesus, erectors. Tell me what isn't important in a deadlift. Opa, lats gave way. Oh, see, the lats gave way. Yeah, that's fucking tough. Yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Oh, shit, man. That kicked my ass. That fourth rep. Didn't want to budge there. Yo, man, I missed the videos where the patients you meet in ER in the lessons insights. Any videos like those coming soon is the drug vids. I've done some recently, man. Just check the recent stuff. I've been doing a lot of these lives, and I've been doing like cutting up some clips, putting those up. You know, I reckon there's one where I talk about that stuff. But yeah, the lives are so much better for me, man. It's not that the editing is crazy. Actually, the editing and clipping this is harder. It's just I feel like I'm talking to you guys, you know? I feel like I'm actually learning something from you guys as well. It's not just a one-way street, you know? We see you still going. Kieran, man, appreciate that, dude. Welcome back. Yeah, no worries, Z, man. Pleasure, dude. All right. Let's get to the rowing, eh? Oh. Alrighty. Where do I put you guys here? Can you guys see anything? Oh, look at this. Holy shit, my quads. I can't even hold my position here. The quads are spent. All right, a bit more weight. I don't know what I'm going to do here, but I'll do a stack of them. Oh man, doing these rows after deadlifts seems to be tough going now. Yeah. Set to 10 seems to be pretty good. Oh man. Jay, how are you, man? I'm good. I'm good, man. Can't complain. Bro, Joe Hobo. What's going on, brother? Doesn't look like you can get much weight on the row machine. So I can get 1, 2, 3. I reckon 6 plates I can get on that row machine. I think that's plenty, dude. 6 plates, and I reckon I can get even more. I'll probably get a 7th plate on if I don't use these thick ones. And there's also a rubber at the bottom, which will probably add another plate, 8 plates probably, of the metal plates. I think that's enough, man. I don't think I'll grow that ever. All right, so 20, 40, 50. Let's get another set. Another set on this. It's a bloody nice machine, I'll tell you what. Feels nice. Whew. Even that seems plenty. Oh, man. So this will be 60. And I reckon this will be it for a few sets. What's going on, boys? Oh, let's have a sit down here. Working a labor job over here. I'm doing all right. Could be better. And trying to transition jobs at the moment. It's pretty bad at the moment. I'm getting interviews Interview fatigue. Oh shit, dude. Yeah. Yeah, the economy across the world now is pretty shit. The world's going crazy. Hope you find something soon, dude. No one wants to be in between jobs. And that's it. You just keep going, man. No point stressing, worrying. Just take it as it comes, man. Do the best you can, and that's it. Gee, that row is nice. Now I gotta bloody get the deadlift bar deloaded. Re-rack all those weights. Or should I just keep them on, huh? No, I can't do that. It's always a nice feeling for me when I've done the biggest part of the session, like I've crossed the peak of the session, and then the last part of the session is some accessories, which is still kind of hard work or whatever, but it's nowhere near getting stuck on the last set of deadlifts, you know. You kind of mentally start to kind of relax, and now you're just kind of cruising the high. It's nice. It's a nice feeling, man. It's a nice feeling, I've got to say. And that, my friends, is me recovered. Time to go and get another set. So this is 60. Might get a set here and then go back down. Yeah, too heavy, brother. The man handled me. And now go down the line. Well, the thing with these is it's kind of tough to breathe when the weight's on your chest. But at least it's not on the lower back. You know, it gives the lower back a break. But breathing under load is tough. Joseph. Nah, man, I'm at a home gym. Welcome, Joseph. This is a home gym, man. I just recently got this equipment. Basically, all you see here is brand new for me. Home gym. This is not your garage, Bruce. So my garage is over here. I'll show you. This is the garage. That's the garage. You recognize that if you've seen my program, if you've seen my videos for a while. And so that's the one-car garage. There's the one-car garage there. And so this is kind of the pergola, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I upgraded, man. I've been upgrading slowly. You know, GHD. In the last few years, I've got a GHD belt squat, SSB, a couple of bars. I've got a new bench. And then these three red machines, the row, the adductor, the abductor, and the incline. Yeah, man, dude, I've made a nice spot. Very nice spot. I think the only other thing, I mentioned it before when I went to that auction, the only other thing that I was kind of keeping a close eye on was the leg press there. But once again, the leg press went for thousands of dollars. So the leg press is very, very expensive. So I didn't get that. I didn't get the pullover machine, but I did get some pieces and I'm very happy with them. I don't even know where the leg press would go. I would have to make some more space somehow, but I'm very happy, man. Slowly, like over the course of, for damn near decade and a half, I've been gathering stuff slowly. No one's got 20 grand to splash once, but a grand or two each year as you need it, it comes together, man. It's almost like the guys that are into cars, like you walk into some of their garages and you're like, holy shit, dude, you've got literally a whole mechanic workshop here. And you just got one bloody car. Why do you need so much shit, man? But you just kind of piece it together as you go along. As the jobs pop up, you get certain pieces, and then eventually it tells a story about you. You've been at this for 15 years or whatever. For me, it's like 13. And you kind of look back, you're like, wow, holy shit, I've come a long way. Mentally, physically, gym-wise, it all kind of comes together and tells a story. And for me, it seems to be all around the hips. I've got the GHD, I've got the belt squat, I've got the good girl, bad girl, the SSB. Like a lot of stuff is kind of being rotated around that. And obviously, I love the squat, and the squat is my ticket into this whole mess. All right, let's go down back to 50 and do another set here. See if I can get it 10 here. I'll do a couple of sets with this. This is heavy enough now. I'm intrigued to see how this affects the bench. It's probably going to be negative. There you go. All these new things are going to derail my bench momentum. Maybe, who knows? We'll see. All the magic happens, Ryan. Yeah, that's it. Who else is watching Carlton get creamed? Also, I've been watching you guys for ages. Nah, it's Jay. Is Carlton playing, are they? Joseph, you could put leg press where your large squat rack is and get rid of the large squat rack. What do you need the squat rack for that? You can do on your new equipment. Yeah, my rack is massive, and I kind of don't like it that it's that massive. The back portion where you kind of store weights is too big. Too much a space eater. But I do like the squat rack or the power rack for benching. There's safety. I'd be very scared to push the bench without safeties, man. But yeah. Do you reckon it's possible to set up a small squat rack in an apartment on the 4th floor without busting through the floor? Oh, for sure. Don't worry about the floor. Don't worry about the floor, dude. The floor can take a lot. Depends on where you live. I don't know where you live, but like most buildings are tough, man. The concrete slabs everywhere, The only thing you gotta worry is making noise. Yeah, pin presses, all that stuff. I like having the power rack. I just wish it didn't have the large, like I'll show you. See that back portion of it? The back portion of it, that last little quadrant, It's, I mean, I've taken them out, but that's where like those little collars are that you can put weights on. I don't put weights on there anymore. I've got the weight tree at the back there. So I also got those squat stands, which again I bought that so I can, you know, squat in the park or somewhere. And I did that once with the freaking Evo, and never again. Freaking hell, man, that was a nightmare. I even bought like roof racks for the Evo and took them off right away. The car's not made for that. And it's just so much, like you think to yourself, oh yeah, I'll just move the squat rack, the bar, or the squat stands, the bar, and like 200 kilos of weight. Fucking hell, dude. That's an exercise in itself, man. By the time I moved all that shit around, I was exhausted. Obviously, you can't park right near the park. Once I did. It was side of the road. That was a cool video on my birthday. But yeah, I won't do that again. It's just too exhausting. And not good for the car to put 200 kilos in it. You know? I'll just RDL and squat presses. Yeah, definitely. No, I didn't watch any of the NBA draft at all, man. I saw Cooper went first. Yeah, dude, like I haven't really been hyped about any of the drafts. Man, since Giannis, I think. Maybe since Wemby. That was a few years ago. Wemby and then Giannis. Other than that, like maybe Zion. There's been a few players there, but other than that, like all of the drafts have been just whatever. You know? You know, outdoor basketball court was your time. Was that your time squatting out? No. So my birthday, that was that time. But there was another time that on my birthday, went by myself in the morning. Went to the hills with my squat rack on the car and everything, and I squatted in some freaking side road in the country somewhere. And I thought that was really good. But it's just so much effort, man. Like strapping everything tight and all that crap. It was just basically not worth it, man. It's so much freaking hassle. You know, it's just sheer weight. You know, I remember like putting a plate under each seat, that kind of thing. Because I didn't want to, you know, yeah, not the car for that. Definitely not. All right, let's get another set here. So those 2 back off sets. Not bad. Thanks, Marty. It's come a long way for sure. It's nice, man. It's nice to have a place at home. I remember the day I just got the squat rack and a bar and a few weights. Fuck, man, I was so happy, man. I was so happy. And there was like nothing, just that. And I was so happy starting out with just that. You don't need all this stuff at first. If you're starting out, man, you just need the basics. The basics. And if you're really, really starting out from scratch, you don't need anything. Just push-ups, you know, sit-ups, run, pull-ups, all that kind of stuff. You know, there's so much you can achieve with very little. But as you progress and you pick a certain path in your lifting, then you can go a certain direction. And everyone's going to have a different setup as well. Like a lot of guys won't need the good girl, bad girl machine. A lot of people will be like, that's a waste of money for me. And that's fair, you know. Everyone's got their own goals and their own troubles and, you know, their own direction. All right, I'll do one more set. And then I'll just cool down with the adductor machine and that'll be it. What are we at? Yeah, we're at 2 hours already. Fucking hell, man. How does the time fly like that? I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. Let me undo that bar first. Whoop. Oh man, I really unracked this bar in an awkward position. Oh man, really awkward position. Alrighty, I'll chuck this one here. Just unwrecking these barbells is a freaking workout. Just that alone is a bloody workout. Wait, since just the rack in some place. Oh, definitely Jay, huh? It's definitely come a long way, but all in good time, in due time. You know what I mean? Like you don't, even I remember the rack that I bought, it was a demo rack at a gym shop. And I was like, they're like, it's a demo, it's got a few scratches. I'm like, what? A few scratches? Like I give a fuck. $300 off. I bought it for like $600 or something like that. Hell yeah, dude. It's gonna have scratches from the freaking first second I racked the damn thing. So like gym equipment, there was like, why would you want to secondhand equipment? Fucking what? Like absolutely, that is what you buy. To me, it's sick. I love the fact that there was like thousands of people getting gains on this thing, man. In fact, one of the lads who watches the channel, they're like, dude, I've been using this for a decade. This exact one. That's awesome to me, dude. It's got character, it's got history, it's got all of that. It's all scratched and beaten. Love that. Looks used. I love that shit. And it's good quality. It's past the test of time, All that stuff is great. Holy shit. That's me done. Time to cool down. Alright, let me boys take you to this freaking amazing thing. Look at this shit here. I'll show you guys a set with this view. This is a freaking amazing piece of equipment. Absolutely freaking amazing. And I've decided to use this now every day to warm down, cool down. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Sit here for a bit, stretch out. I feel like I hold a lot of tension in my adductors, in my groin, in my hip flexors. And this thing is made for this. I'm still sore from yesterday. Yeah, look at that. Even the machine, yesterday I could easily stretch with the machine, but today, being sore, I reckon 32 is going to be good today. So now you want it heavy enough so you feel the stretch. So I'm not bottomed out yet. Oh my God. This is amazing, fellas. If you guys recall, when I bought that split machine, middle split machine, it was basically this. But now I can do reps. So it's basically a PNF stretching. PNF, the best kind of stretching. I'm freaking vibrating like a leaf. And then you just sit there after the reps. Oh, fuck. Oh. Yeah, it's a great machine. It's a great stretch, boys. It's so intense. The stretch is so intense. It's amazing after all the work. After doing all the deadlifts and squats and whatever, to finish off with a movement like that, it's freaking epic. Absolutely epic. So I'll do 3 sets like this. I'm not even trying to work the adductors. It's simply a cool down. That's what I'm thinking about this. That's all this is for me. Just a cool down, nothing else. You know? And then I walk in the house and I'm feeling long, stretched out, and now I can sleep. You know, last night I had a great sleep. Just relaxed. All right, one more set. Oh God, the stretch is intense. Oh man, so freaking relaxing. All right. Do I have advice for lower back pain? You gotta attack your head on. Get the lower back stronger. Don't stretch it. Never stretch something that hurts. Strengthen it. Anterior core, lower back, GHDs, hypers, all that stuff, glutes. That's your mission. That's your goal. You got to get all that stronger. Attack it from a million different ways. That's your mission. Basically deadlifts, if you can tolerate it. Oh God. After all of this, the hip flexors are so loose. I can hardly freaking walk. Boys, it's been 2 hours and 10 minutes. It's a long freaking time. Appreciate you like always. I'll catch you guys tomorrow, probably same time. And we'll go from there. I've never done reverse hypers, man. Never done reverse hypers. Appreciate you, fellas. I'll catch you in the next one, eh? Tomorrow, same time. All right, time to hit the shower. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate you, fellas. See you next time. Bye-bye.